let us now have a moment of silence for those that we've lost in 9/11. Thank you. Ahoy there, hey there, the captain here, or should I say, Tony. Good cheer captain is here. Woo! I'm in my patriotic gear. Got my patriotic pom-poms right here. I got my megaphone right here. Signed by Nick Nemeth, formerly known as WWE superstar Dolph Ziggler, who made his main roster in-ring debut as Nikki as part of the Spirit Squad. 1 Spirit Squad member down, 4 to go. But Nick Nemeth said good luck, because I'm going to need it because he can't get in touch with Mitch. Mitch has been retired from the business for a long time, and he still can't get in touch with them. But that's besides the point. The point is, it's time for my annual military game. And I want to send a big special shout out to these ladies here. The Satin Dolls. That's Dolls with a Z. Vintage vibes, not vintage values. They're an international 1940s pinup tribute group. I first discovered them during lockdown, and I was in awe by what I saw. And they do the style that they do in the old USO venues. Not to mention that they're divided into 7 branches. They're an international pinup tribute band. There's the main one in LA. There's Paris, there's London, there's New York, there's Rome, Italy, there's Iowa, and then there's Nashville. 7 divisions. And I've shown a lot of love for them, and I can't believe it that when I clicked on one of the members, and you know how you click on how you follow a figure, and then they give you recommendations on who else to follow. Well, I was in awe by what I saw as well. I clicked on one of the members, and I clicked on, say, Satin Doll so-and-so, and it gave me all sorts of other Satin Dolls who are part of the Satin Dolls or different parts of the world. And I clicked on them as like, hey, there's more of them. I gave them another follow. Hey, there's more of them. Click. Hey, there's more of them. Click. Even more of them. Click. Even more of them. Click. Even more of them. So yeah. Like I said, they helped me through lockdown and helped me through life. And I happened to catch several of their live streams during lockdown, and so, well, the rest was history. On my bucket list, I got another thing on my bucket list to see at least one Satin Doll show. I did see a virtual show a couple years ago, the New York Dolls, but in person, That would be something even better. But anyway, like I said, we're going to honor those that we've lost in 9/11, and this upcoming Wednesday will be 23 years since the unthinkable happened. That being said, I'm going to play my annual military game, College Football USA 96. There's 3 military teams on this game, Navy, Army, and Air Force. So I'm going to pick 2. Pick 2. Just like the Three Stooges. Never gets old. I'm gonna play as Air Force. Scoring off against in the Navy. Yes, you can sail the 7 seas in the Navy. Yes, you're sending minor knees in the Navy. That's tails. This is my rendition of the Army-Navy game. Like I said, I can't believe it's been 23 years ago. And they say you never forget where you were when the unthinkable happened. Just to reiterate, I was in first period French class when it happened. We were getting ready for our daily lesson, and randomly the French teacher turned on the TV, and there was the Twin Tower, one of the Twin Towers up in flames, the one with the antenna, the North Tower. We didn't know what happened, and so we just kept operations temporarily paused, and then moments later, we saw for ourselves the second tower, the South Tower, being a victim of a hijacking. An airplane was hijacked into the second tower. And so that was scary. We were freaked out. Airmail. And then nearly 30 minutes later, the South Tower, the one that we saw hijacked, crashed and burned. But before that, another airplane hit the Pentagon, and another one somewhere in Pennsylvania. And so with that, a lot of major businesses and a lot of important major venues a lot of major businesses were shut down, and a lot of venues, a lot of public events were canceled. Woo! First down. And we didn't know what to think, and then the principal came on, and then stating that President Bush said that as far as schools were concerned, we had to continue on with our day the best we could. Just not let the terrorists and the terrorism intimidate us. So that was kind of hard to do, but the show must go on as far as the school day was concerned. And so we continued on with our day the best we could. And then moments later, the North Tower, the one with the antenna, collapsed. And so the Twin Towers were no more, and a lot of lives. Oh, wait, I'm gonna do a pop-up shake after this field goal. Woo! After the first blood, yeah. Woo! Woo! But tell us where you were when you heard about the horrific tragedy. Because I knew exactly where I was, and it was hard for us to continue on with our day, but we just had to continue on with our day the best we could. The show must go on, and don't let the terrorists intimidate us. What was that? And this was the biggest reason why 2001 was garbage. Big time. I can name all sorts of reasons, including those that I forgot to mention from last year. Bozo the Clown hangs up his red nose for the last time. Mr. Rogers hangs up his cardigan for the last time. Cajun chef Justin Wilson dies. Tweet Trong, best known for a role as Trini Kwan, the original Mighty Morphin Yellow Ranger, passes. Dale Earnhardt Sr. passes. I think it was Daytona. The Monday Night Wars end. Extreme Championship Wrestling shuts down. I got lucky that time. World Championship Wrestling and Extreme Championship Wrestling were bought by Vince McMahon. Jimmy Hart's XWF doesn't last long. It only lasts like less than a year. Battle Dome ends. It's like American Gladiators with a unique twist, if you would. Woo! And Terry Crews got his big break there. Roller Jam shuts down. It combines roller derby and WWE-like storylines. Since the Monday Night Wars were a big deal back then, roller derby and roller jam wanted a piece of the pie, and so, thus roller jam was born. Even though it did alienate some of those who loved the tradition of roller derby. put it away. And then don't even get me started on the invasion storyline, because it really could have been something. Bunch of doo 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 doo. Just like the invasion storyline that we got. I mean, have you seen in animated cartoons and animated movies where someone rolls out a long list just like a big roll of toilet paper? That's how I'm feeling about what could have been the invasion storyline. I mean, the possible dream matches that they could have had. What would happen if Sting finally met up with The Undertaker? It could have been a dream match of the century. The dream match that everyone would want. Streak or no streak. What would happen if Stone Cold Steve Austin met Bill Goldberg? Oh, woo! Woo! Had to do a quick pom-pom shake. But all that we got were one or two big names. Booker T and Diamond Dallas Page. Both of whom were former champions. And a bunch of mid to lower tier talent, many of whom rose to prominence when WCW was at its lowest point. And then ECW was introduced to the storyline. Oh! Woo! Woo! And positive turned into a negative, turned into a positive. Yeah. First and goal. False start. Bunch of boo-boo. Bunch of boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo. Whoa! I did not think I was going to make it. I should have thrown that B, but oh well, I'll take it. Once again, I got lucky still. Woo! 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 But going back to the invasion storyline, Stone Cold Steve Austin joined the alliance, and he was named the leader. Bootski. They threw out a bit and set off a bunch of red flags right there, because the roster that they had for the invasion, as far as the alliance was concerned, those names weren't big enough for them to carry the storyline on their own. So Stone Cold was named the leader. And the worst part is, Stone Cold would belittle the alliance members, making them less and less of a threat. But one of the positives to come from this was the what chance. It may be positive, maybe negative for some. But back in 2001, the what chance. What? And Stone Cold's outbursts, they were hilarious. Heel Stone Cold was hilarious, his outbursts. I'm really embarrassed for the last time. What? was excited when Lance Storm came from, bust through the arena and started invading. The invasion storyline had begun. Granted, he was only a mid-carder. It was still something. It was still exciting. Big pop for me. Oh, they decided to go. Okay. I see how that is. Wah wah. Woo. But if it weren't for Sean Stasiak spoiling things that Team WCW were going to be involved in WrestleMania 17 and helping with the street fight between Vince and Shane, they would have been, there probably would have been something there. But yeah, that's still we got what we had. But the reason why some of the big names weren't there was because AOL Time Warner, WCW's then parent company, they had the big names had the big contracts with them, and they were still the contracts were still active, and so the big names could easily collect a paycheck without even setting foot inside a wrestling ring. And so a lot of the big names took up that offer, and instead Vince McMahon would offer lower pay for those who wanted to work straight away, and Booker T was. And so Booker T and DDP were the two big names that took up the offer. And don't even get me started with the way that they treated DDP. They booked him to be. Oh, woo! I did not expect that. They booked him to be the stalker of Undertaker's then wife Sarah. And so that was completely embarrassing for someone who would have to have a distance to the goal. It was a poor booking decision on WWE's part, because he was the true pinnacle of WCW, especially during that time period. First down. It was a completed pass anyway. Of those of the Alliance, the true pinnacle was Diamond Dallas Page. And Booker T. He went through a lot of trials and tribulations, especially with the way he was booked. But he still ended up having a great WWE career. Minus WrestleMania 19, which is one of the many reasons why I always skip this WrestleMania. If you know, you know. Oh, fumble! Get it! Is it touchdown? Yes, it's a touchdown! Woo! Pendulum swinging back and forth and back and forth. Woo! This is insane. Insane in the membrane. step out of bounds for? I'm trying to run out the clock. George Harrison of the Beatles passes in 2001. Get up. I guess they might as well go ahead and get into field goal range since anyone go into the half to score the way it is. I should have sacked him. But at least they didn't move closer. I missed him. Drop it. Drop the toilet paper. No good. Time for me to run out the clock. Go ahead and let the clock run out. Halftime. 14-0 in favor of me, Air Force. I get the ball this time. Yeah, that was it. That was when I was in ninth grade. Ninth grade was a tough year for me. I was bullied every single day, and the teachers did nothing about it. Little or nothing. And that was when I had thoughts. Band class was was even worse. I love music and all. I love music class. And in fact, this was something that I've always wanted to do. Still want to do. but they were in the marching band. They didn't have all sorts of variety. All it was a concert band and a band that loved to focus on marching style. You know, how you see in drumline, you know, A&T and everything. That wasn't my style. But we get this. During the 2001-2002 school year, I've had not one, not two, but three, count them, 3 band directors in the same school year. In fact, during the 4th quarter, that was when we had not one, not two, but 3 band directors in the same quarter. And I'll never forget that day that the first band director wanted to quit. He couldn't handle the class because the class were cutting up all the time. The class was cutting up all the time. And the way he was saying it, I'll never forget. It was like, before we continue, I got a major announcement to make. Y'all gotta have a new band director starting next week. He was saying that as if he couldn't wait to get out. But the second band director, he was laid back and chill. He couldn't handle the class, and so he bit the dust after less than a month. But the third one was the worst of all. It's like we had to do it his way or the highway. We were stuck in the fundamentals for so long, and he was having trouble. He was having trouble getting the class together. I hated him, and I hated his teaching method, and I hate that we had to be stuck in the fundamentals and have no room to grow. It was just worse. It was just bad. But a couple years later, he would do some naughty things that ended up him being fired. He eventually got fired, much to my delight. But as far as me preparing for college, as far as music was concerned, the deal was already sealed. In fact, the deal was already sealed when I moved to the specific school that had no variety in their music programs. There was no jazz band, no orchestra, no nothing. All it was a band that wanted to focus on show-style band. And the band director, he was the director of both the middle and the high school. So he would switch back and forth in between the two. And sometimes he wouldn't show up at all, and the class would just act a fool. And the class would always tell me, don't tell the course teacher, or don't tell anybody. Or else we'll beat you up. Wah wah. And so I eventually did tell, and it was, and the entire class hated me at that time, and the choral teacher and the choral students said that I did the right thing, and so I jumped ship after that year and joined chorus. And another method that I hate about that third band director that was giving me a hard time is that oftentimes the choral and the band concerts would fall on the same day. He had the audacity to have them on separate days, and the days that I was at the band concerts that we had on that separate day, it was an empty house. All it was a few people. First down for me. It was an empty seater every single time. So after the second year that he was there, I had to jump ship to choral full time, so to speak. And it was, yeah. There was nothing more I could do until he got fired for doing bad things. Things I can't even mention on here. But high school was tough, especially my freshman year. Bunch of boo-boo. Doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. But it was bad. After all that. After all that, nothing. How'd you escape? But yeah, high school was a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. They have to get a touchdown. A field goal won't cut it. Because they get a field goal, it's not going to cut it that much. It's crunch time for them. Out of bounds. I'm just going to assume that they're going to be going for it. Then again, I'm surprised they decided to go for the field goal. Well, at least they're on the board for them. But they still got a ways to go. Still a ways away. and it backfired on them. I'm just going to go ahead and keep it on the ground. Keep it on the ground. Keep it on the ground. Offside. I got a first down. Cheap way to get a first down, though. Beep-bee. What a bunch of beep-bee. Well, at least I'm keeping the clock moving. Yeah, I'm going to just continue to run out the clock as much as I can. Looks like a 2-minute warning, quote unquote. Even though there are no 2-minute warnings in college football. Or at least around that time period. Food I get a food but it's still got a long way to go. Ooh, long way. The best part about high school in general, especially freshman year, at least I made it in one piece. If it weren't for my strength, we wouldn't be talking. Wah wah, game over. Ball game over. Air Force wins. The Air Force wins. Just as I suspected, they're going to call time. Bomb, 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 bomb. Okay, what's up? Shut up. I say, hey, what's up? Shut up. Bomb, 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 bomb. Yeah, yeah. Woo! I pushed them back, way back. On the 1. You know what? Scratch that. They're going to go for something big. It could backfire. They're going to go something big. Probably going to spike the ball. That's what they're going to do. Stop the clock with a spike. Nope. Nope. When you say stop the clock. In the zone. And they're now using their 3rd and final timeout. This game's mine. It's all mine. My first victory of Season 4 of Captain's Arcade. And they're going to stop the clock with a spike, methinks. I got 1 play left. And this game is mine. Yeah, yeah. Game over. Game over. Yeah, yeah. Woo! I win. Air Force wins. Yeah, yeah. Woo! Woo! My first victory here in Season 4 of Captain's Arcade. Took me 4 episodes to do it, but I did it. Woo! But like I said, at the end of the day, it's not about me getting the victory. It's about remembering those that we've lost in that horrific tragedy 23 years ago. And this upcoming Wednesday will mark 23 years since the unthinkable happened. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the show here. That concludes another edition of Captain's Arcade. Me getting my first victory. And we're going to enjoy the rest of our days. So maybe watch some college football and maybe go out and have some fun. Go to the park, have a family outing, etc. But anyway, hope everyone stays safe and hope everyone finishes their homework in time and have some more fun. The sooner you get your homework done, the more fun we can have. All right, folks, that's going to do it for me. I'll see everybody on next weekend. Until then, maybe say goodbye.